Snow Fog Outdoors. Teddy. Teddy, say hi to everybody. No, he don't wanna. Okay, this video is a tag video. Donny Pavolini from Donny Pavolini Outdoors started a tag video entitled, "When Did You Know For Sure?" Now, I gotta admit, I was a little nervous when I saw that title pop up on my YouTube feed. I'm like, dang, is he coming out of the closet? No, I'm just kidding. If you don't know Donny Pavolini, I gotta tell you what. This is a man of many talents. Very experienced when it comes to outdoors, bushcrafting, camping, you name it. He's a craftsman, but most of all, he's a wonderful man with a big heart. And you should really check his channel out. I'll leave a link below. And he tagged 3 people. And one of those fine men was Parker Ridge. Parker Ridge and I have been friends for a while now. Another awesome guy. You know, we message back and forth, we talk, he helps me out. He's just amazing. You watch his videos of him and his wife, Mrs. Parker Ridge. Hi, Chris. Going out and just traveling and camping and hammocking and enjoying the outside. Please check his channel out. I will also leave a link below to his channel. Well, he tagged me. When did you know for sure? When did I know for sure that I loved the outdoors or belonged in the outdoors? When did I, know bushcrafting was my thing? Well, like everybody, you start out as a child usually. I lived in a small country town. I was the baby of the family. My 2 sisters and brother were much older than me. As my mother would say, I was a bowling banquet baby. So my parents were like, my dad was hitting 40 and my mom was in her mid-30s when they had me. So growing up, I was pretty much the only one at home. And, in those days, we didn't have video games or any of this electronic stuff to keep us sedentary. So I was always outside building little communities with my friends and camps and, playing in the dirt, just whatever I could do. When I wasn't in school, I was outside. Went camping every summer with my parents up in the Adirondacks in the Lake George region. And I just loved it. I just loved being outside. Then I graduated high school. And straight out of high school, I went into the military where I spent the next 20 years plus. And of course, I was outside a lot there. But sometimes being in other places, doing a job, it's hard to really enjoy the country that you're in, especially when you're trying to keep your head down and your ass covered and be responsible for the lives of fellow soldiers and other things. So I really never enjoyed the places that I was stationed at because it was always work. So then I proceeded to get out of the military, like I said, like 20, 21 years later, and I was like, what am I going to do now? Sure, I had a great job when I was in there, but to get out and go into that profession meant at least another 4 years of college with a degree, and I'd have to move, and plus I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to have to move to Washington or Virginia and play the government game. So I'm like, what the hell? I think I'll be a nurse. So in my mid-30s, I went to nursing school and graduated and became a nurse. I loved my job. I love my job more than anything in the world. But, life goes and you get busy and you forget what you love the most. And the closest I got to it when I wasn't working was just sitting out by the fire, um, chilling. You know, at one point I had 2 full-time positions. I was working a 2 to 10 shift, and I was working 11 to 7 shift, and I just burnt right out. So then it never really hit me about or when I decided to get into bushcrafting in the outdoors and survival. I'd always watched all the shows on TV that were on, you know, Bear Grylls and Survivor Man, and any show that had to do with outside and nature and, you know, trying to get by. I always watched those shows. But it wasn't until 2011 that I actually felt a major impact on my life. I had got hurt at work in 2004 during a pediatric case, and it really hurt my back. So it took me out of work for a little while. You know, did the normal things, take some ibuprofen, whatever. So I continued to work from 2004 to 2010 when I could barely walk anymore. So it was the fall of 2010 I finally met with an orthopedic surgeon, and he's like, "You're so messed up that we have no other choice but to do some fusions and some laminectomies and all that good stuff." So in May of 2011, I had my first back surgery. Thought I was doing good, got home, and I would see the doctor like once a week at that point. And every visit they would do x-rays and stuff. It'll come to find out that the fusion never took. The areas where I had 3 levels worked on, they didn't heal. And the hardware had broken my back. So 2 months later, almost 3 months later, in August, I had a complete removal and an overdue of everything that he had previously done in my back, which meant more fusions. They had given me cadaver bone to put in my spine, and I was a mess. He suggested that I go to rehab or a skilled nursing facility to get back on my feet. I said, absolutely not. I'm going home, and that's it. So with Mandy being a nurse, of course, you know, I was in good hands. But I was home with a hospital bed and a walker and a ton of medication, and I was like devastated. Physically and mentally, I was done. And with it being late summer, you know, I couldn't do anything. I could get up from the hospital bed, walk with the walker to the bathroom, sit on my porch. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to catch up on videos of the survival shows I missed, because I had never been on YouTube prior to that. So when I clicked on it, I saw all these channels, and I started watching them. I watched channels like Bushcraft Bartons, Mike and Josie. I watched Dave Pearson from Really Big Monkey 1, and a host of other channels. I mean, I can't even name all the channels. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And it gave me the motivation to say, you know what, damn it, I'm going to get better. I'm going to throw this walker away. I'm going to get my ass out of that hospital bed eventually. And I'm going to start doing this stuff. So with the support of Mandy and my physicians and physical therapy and aqua therapy and you name it therapy, I eventually got better, got stronger, you know, and started practicing bushcraft and getting outside. And even if it was just walking around my yard and, you know, tying a tarp up, or because I had no idea what anything was or how to do it. But it was your videos and the way you just portrayed everything about this craft that got me to where I am today. About 1.5 years later, the hospital bed was gone. I think about 2 weeks later, the damn walker was gone. And I was getting outside and I was doing stuff. I started to buy gear. I mean, I always collected knives since I was a little kid. But I started to get the right gear, get the right skill set, watch the right channels. And then just last summer, after moving down here to North Carolina from New York, I got my YouTube channel going. And I have never met a better, more supportive, loving community in my life as the one I belong to right now. And I have so many people to thank. Not just, the big channels I watched, but the little channels that just inspired me. Forget your disability. Forget what you're going through. Get to where you want to be. And that's what I did. So that's my story. Um, After the second surgery, it wasn't any better. So I continue to have broken hardware on my back and one level that hasn't healed. But I don't let it bother me anymore. I have you. I have this awesome craft. And I just stay at it. And I keep busy. And I'm doing fine. Yeah, I have pain, but you know what? It's manageable. Um, but it's not going to stop me from doing what I love to do. So I'm going to tag a couple people. There better not be a tick on me. I want to tag Aunt Jessie at Jessie's Mountain. I want to hear a little bit about your backstory there, sister. And I also want to tag, it's so hard to pick somebody because everybody is just so amazing. Give me a minute. I'm pondering here. Jessie's Mountain, and I also want to tag, I guess I should have looked this up before I did this video, huh? Ron, a Cheap Survival. I know your story, man. And anyone else that's watching this video, please feel free to tag yourself, put your story out there. I mean, there is no story that's not interesting. Everybody's story makes a difference in someone's life. Trust me. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great day.